The following stories are inspired by documented paranormal encounters. Some locations and identities may have been changed to protect the people involved. These stories may be disturbing for younger audiences, and listener discretion is advised. This podcast is based on true events.
Dalia, she, they.
Hey, I'm B, she, they.
Hi, I'm Brandon, he, him.
And this podcast is based on true events.
I gotta tell you, when we did that one, I got, part of my mouth, behind my lips, stuck in between my teeth while I was saying mine.
Your mouth got stuck between your teeth?
A little bit. So, I can... Do you know the part, behind your lips, in front of your teeth? Like that, fleshy
Yes.
part? You're feeling it right now? Okay, so, I can... Because I have some gaps in my teeth here and there, so I can slide that skin up and put it in between. And I did that right before I started talking. And so I was talking like, hi. I was like, oh no.
The panic.
I forgot what I was supposed to say and just had to turn on autopilot and hope the right thing came out.
It did. It did.
It did. What a great autopilot, actually.
Hell yeah.
Amazing.
Yep, always got to trust.
You should get your license.
They won't let me.
So... right before we started this episode, B realized that our last episode was the 20th episode of this podcast.
Yeah, I didn't realize.
A fifth of the way through 100 episodes, by the way.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Thinking about it that way.
That's amazing.
That's crazy.
I'm going to bake us a cake for our 100th episode.
Ooh, that'd be really nice. That'd be really cool.
Serve it on your cake.
No.
Sorry.
It took me a second, too. I saw...
B is once again thinking about my ass.
I'm an ass man.
Maybe
I'm sorry.
nobody can think about it as much as I do, so...
That's true. He got me beat.
Yeah, vibe check. How you guys doing today? I know we just sat for maybe an hour just... me personally forcing you guys to listen to Super Sentai intros.
It was great.
I like Super Sentai.
Good music.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also, I've sat through those a lot now.
Yeah, that's
so,
fair, yeah. I'll just pull them back up every once in a while, honey, listen to this one.
I'm like,
good.
yeah, honey, it's a good one.
But overall, I'm good, personally. I know we had some soup. One guy here made potato soup for B's arrival for a little bit of lunch.
B's arrival.
Oh, no.
Arrival, if you will.
My mom listens to this. I should probably stop.
You're not gonna. We both know
No,
that.
I'm not gonna.
We
Sorry,
all
Mom.
know
Love
that.
you.
Knowing your mom, she's probably laughing as well. So
Probably.
That's fair.
No, I'm good. I got me several good hits off of that good old Benjamin. The lights changing here, so it's a whole vibe.
Yeah.
And I'm hanging out with my buddies, so
Hell
I'm
yeah.
great.
Hell
I'm good.
yeah.
Back and body hurt, but I'm okay.
Back and body do hurt. I feel that.
I'm happy. I'm happy to see B and Miss B.
Yeah.
Happy we're all hanging out. Got a lot of stuff to look forward to, so I'm pretty hyped about that stuff.
Yeah.
Just good vibes all around. Just back and body kind of hurt though.
They've been hyping up today's recording session, and I don't know what the fuck is happening. So
We'll get
it's
to
just a
that.
regular recording session.
okay, perfect.
We'll get to that in a few episodes. Don't worry.
Okay.
No, besides this episode being our 21st episode and last week's being our 20th episode.
Old enough to drink.
Well, yes.
Yay!
However, last week I didn't clock this while we were recording last time, but last week was also the first episode of October.
Oh.
This is our first, probably our only recording session in October. Unless something goes extremely wrong, which, knock on wood, we should be fine. But, no, yeah. This is our welcome to the second week of October. I hope it's been treating you well. Has the weather calmed down a little bit at all where you are? Because I've been sweating the past week, first week of October. I should not be sweating in October.
Mm-hmm. Preach.
But
Do you mean where you are in the future when they'll be listening to this, or where you are
where you are in the world?
where I am right now, I have been sweating the past week.
Yeah,
so
and I meant our listeners.
Oh yeah, the listeners, yes.
Because you take that either way.
You could,
so.
yeah. However, by the time this episode comes out, we're supposed to have a drop in temperature along with some rain, so that'll be nice.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah, fingers crossed. That's what they're saying, but it's hard. It gets harder and harder to believe them every single day at this point. Every day over 80 is harder to believe.
Yeah.
Every day over 80,
what do
I
you
forget fall
mean?
exists. Yeah. Just
Yeah.
Agreed.
All right.
What was that face?
Couldn't have said it better
you
myself.
looked away, but he went.
So, I'll tell you exactly what that was. That was me looking at B and realizing I'm saying this noise while looking directly at B. I was like, how funny would it be if I just remained in eye contact the whole time? And so you looked away and my eyes got wider. And I was like, wait a minute, no.
I was trying to figure out why the noise was being directed at me.
So, are you guys ready to hear my first story today?
Yes.
Bring it in.
I say first as if I have more than one. I have one story today.
Of the recording session.
Yeah. No, of all. It's all you the rest of the time.
Okay.
No, yeah. So I have one story today. And you guys said you are ready, correct? I need verbal confirmation here.
I am ready.
Okay.
I'm ready.
All right, SpongeBob. Patrick, are you ready?
Yes, I was just going to move my mic, but I didn't want to do it while you were talking.
Oh, you should be fine.
Is it good there, or?
Yeah, it should be fine.
Okay.
Okay, so, I think it's safe to say that a good majority of ghost stories follow a certain formula, right?
Mm-hmm.
The family moves in, they experience horrors beyond their wildest dreams. Maybe they try getting an exorcism done, whether it be on them or on the house, and then they move out, usually. But sometimes, like we've also experienced on this show, that last part, for one reason or another, just isn't really feasible. Usually for money reasons, right?
Yep.
Today is one of those stories. And in a first for the documentary show that this story comes from, on August 14th, 2015, they actually conducted the interview inside of the haunted house mentioned in this story.
Interesting. Okay.
Yes, this is a pretty interesting one. So,
That's when, oh God.
huh?
I just realized.
2015 was 10 years ago?
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
because
insane.
I was like, wow, that was recent. Because I'm thinking,
No,
that's when
it
we
was
graduated
not.
high
It
school.
was
And then I
still
went,
recent.
oh my God, that was 10 years ago.
It was recent.
10
Yeah,
years.
it was recent. It's
Yeah,
recent.
sure,
It's
sure.
recent.
10 years is pretty recent,
Yep,
actually.
yeah.
It's like it was
relatively.
yesterday.
My son is 10 years old.
Ugh.
Oh, no. Anyways, please
Your
continue.
son is recent.
I would
okay?
like
You
to...
have a recent son.
Please, different kind of scary.
Oh, no. So, as told by the show My Haunted House, I give you the tale of the Hanover Haunting. May 4th, 2000, Hanover, Pennsylvania. Deanna and her husband Tom moved into a house that she had fallen absolutely in love with. When she had first toured the place, it immediately reminded her of a home in Kentucky that she used to love in her childhood. Everything, even down to the smell and the tiles in the house, was perfect to her. After packing the last of their boxes and moving into the house on moving day, Deanna decides to take a small break to rake some leaves and work on a bit of the detailing in the front yard. She described the house as having no landscaping and being all tore up. Or described like the front of the house and the landscaping as being all tore up, right? As she's out working on her new yard in a beautiful 65-degree weather, jealous,
Yeah.
Deanna hears a withered old voice call out to her. Looking in the direction of the voice, she sees an old lady peering at her from over the top of the fence at the edge of her yard. Deanna greets her, but the lady just kind of stares back in response. Feeling a bit awkward at the silence between them, Deanna gives her name and explains about how her and her husband just moved into the house. The old lady simply responds with, "I know," before asking Deanna, "Do you know what happened in your basement?" Puzzled, Deanna replies that she doesn't before asking what the lady meant. After a moment's pause, the lady simply responds, "Good luck to you." Confused, Deanna glances over at the house that she had been so excited to move into. Turning back to the lady to ask what she's talking about after maybe would have been a second or two, she sees that the old lady is now nowhere to be found. Like she completely vanished.
That's fucking... How you gonna look at me and say, do you know what happened to your basement? Good luck. And then what?
And then dip. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think dead people don't have social skills.
Or maybe she's autistic. Because me too.
Deanna says that this was the start of everything. Later that night, as Tom and Deanna eat dinner at the small kitchen table in their brand new kitchen, they start to gag as a heavy and overwhelmingly putrid smell filled the room. The only thing they thought it could be, possibly, was a dead animal or something. Tom grabs a flashlight and goes to check outside for something that may have died near the house. As Deanna waits inside, she hears the whispered voice of a man say, "Come here." Thinking that it may be Tom, she starts to look around but finds nobody. As she starts to think that she may have imagined it, she hears the voice again, once again whispering, "Come here." Following the sound to the darkened living room, Deanna sees the silhouette of a man standing against the moonlit glass doors that lead to the backyard. Scared now, Deanna stutters out Tom's name, hoping against hope that it was just her husband pulling some kind of strange prank on her. But as she turns on the light, she finds herself alone in the room. As she stands there shaken, Tom comes back inside to report that he figured out the source of the smell. Apparently, Tom has deduced that they had an animal living under their house in a crawl space, possibly a possum or a raccoon. When Deanna points out that the smell is gone now, Tom brushes it off, claiming that he'll board up the entrance soon so that the animals can no longer go in there. He says the smell will probably come and go. Tom leaves to get a beer, but Deanna just can't forget about the things she had just experienced. She decides to turn the lights off again, just to see if there's a natural reason for the silhouette she had just seen. But as the light flickers off, she screams as she now sees the figure of the man standing close to her.
Ooh.
She tells Tom about what she had just experienced and about the creepy old lady that said to her about what she had said to her earlier, right? Telling him that she thinks what she saw was a ghost. So, immediately jumping to the ghost conclusion, which is rare for this kind of happening, right?
Mm-hmm.
Tom shoots that idea down immediately, and this starts an argument. In the episode, Deanna claims that the couple used to be able to be open with each other about anything because they knew they wouldn't, quote, attack each other over it. But after moving into the house, she claimed that both of them started acting uncharacteristically rude to each other. August 6th, 2000. Tom is doing some work in the basement while Deanna is out. Boarding up the crawl space seemed to do absolutely nothing about the horrible smell, and Tom was trying to get to the bottom of it after months of just hoping it would eventually go away. The pipes were fine. The furnace was fine. The sewer was fine. What the hell was causing the smells? Hearing footsteps on the floor above him, Tom assumed that Deanna had finally come home and went upstairs to report his findings. After calling out her name and getting no answer, Tom looked out the window to see that Deanna's car was still gone. She wasn't home. Upon reaching this conclusion, Tom now starts hearing footsteps coming from the second floor above him. He clutches the wrench in his hand tight as he assumes an intruder is now in the house. As he quietly makes his way up the staircase, he hears glass breaking, like someone had just thrown a light bulb on the ground. Tom searches upstairs, but despite continuing to hear noises like thumping and doors creaking around him, he finds nobody. 2 months later, Deanna is brushing her teeth as she gets ready for bed one night. As she turns around, she feels a wetness under her feet and looks down to see a large red trail of what looks like blood leading from under her feet to down the hallway. She shakily follows the sticky trail into her bedroom, and as she looks around the room, she turns to come face to face with the figure of a woman. Deanna screams and runs to Tom, who checks the house but once again finds nothing. No woman, no trail of blood. This leads to Tom expressing worries about Deanna's mental well-being, which starts another argument that the couple was unfortunately getting used to at this point. Tom just wants to find a rational explanation to things that Deanna is experiencing, while Deanna just wants Tom to stop trying to act like her psychiatrist and start acting like a husband, and believe her. Tom falls asleep on the couch that night, but is awakened by the sound of 3 heavy knocks coming from the front door. Bleary-eyed and wondering who could be at the door at this godforsaken hour, Tom goes to check it out. Tom opens the door to find nobody there, but upon closing it back, he's jolted fully awake as 3 loud bangs shake the door that he had just closed. "What the hell?" Tom mutters under his breath. Then, a soft whisper of a voice, "What the hell?" coming from just behind him. Tom turns quickly but sees nobody else around him. "Deanna?" Tom calls softly. Maybe his wife had just come to check out the banging too and was standing just out of view. Deanna? comes the disembodied whisper once again. It was almost like it was mocking him. Tom was having a harder and harder time coming up with rational explanations for everything going on. 6 months later, Deanna is doing laundry when she hears a whispered voice call her name. She stops, listening hard and hoping that she hadn't just heard what she thought she had, because she knows she was alone. But she hears her name whispered a second time. She starts looking around, spinning in place and trying to find the source of the noise, when she suddenly feels something scratch long ways across the back of her neck. She drops the laundry and runs downstairs, just wanting to get away from the spot that she was in. She starts sleeping in a guest room on their first floor, not wanting to be upstairs at all anymore. Tom asks why, and Deanna shows him the scratch mark across the back of her neck, telling him that she felt something scratch her. Thankfully, Tom actually believes her this time, and instead of trying to find a rational explanation, offers to sleep downstairs with her to comfort her, to keep her safe, or try to at least. That night, Tom has a dream of walking hand in hand with Deanna through a cemetery. As Deanna turns to him, he can now see that the half of her face that had once been turned away from him looks slashed and mutilated. After waking up and telling Deanna about his dream, she reveals that she also had a dream about a cemetery. As opposed to Tom's dream, where the cemetery was bright and sunny, the cemetery in Deanna's dream was shrouded in darkness, lit only by moonlight. In Deanna's dream, she ran through the headstones terrified. She knew that someone was chasing her, she just couldn't see who. She stops, out of breath, and looks up to see 5 people in hooded robes standing by a tree up ahead. She calls out to them to help her, but as one of them turns to face her, she sees that its face is rotted and decayed. She woke up right as she felt a hand wrap around her from behind her to cover her mouth. Later that morning, as Deanna is getting ready in the bathroom, she notices a X slashed into her back just under her neckline. As Tom is looking her over, wondering just how this could have happened, he finds another one on her lower back. Deanna is terrified for her safety now and tells Tom that she wants to move. However, Tom informs her that, despite them only having bought the house a year ago, they were now upside down on the mortgage. Meaning that the value of the house had dropped significantly and that they owed more money on their mortgage than their home was currently worth.
Damn.
Even if they did sell the house, they would not be able to get enough for it to pay what they still owed. As he explains this to Deanna, Tom suddenly gasps as if he had just been hurt and rolls up his sleeve to reveal a fresh, bleeding cut along his forearm. As the couple tends to the wound, they both hear a growling sound and look up to see a large, black, cloud-like form manifest in the kitchen right before their eyes. The cloud hung heavy in the air for a few moments before dematerializing up into the ceiling. One night, Deanna wakes up in the middle of the night from that same nightmare of her running through a cemetery and bolts upright in bed. Before the dream even had time to wear off, Deanna feels a hand grab her by the shoulder and pull her back down onto the bed. Immediately after this, she feels something grab her ankles and yank her hard off of the bed. This wakes up Tom, who spends the rest of the night trying to comfort his wife. October 31st, Halloween, 2021. After word ends up getting around in the smaller community of Hanover, a news crew arrives to do a story on the house as part of a Halloween segment. Deanna and Tom agree to do the segment in hopes of finding people that may be able to help them get rid of whatever was in their house. But Deanna says that she has regretted that decision ever since. During the segment, a cameraman reported seeing the figure of a woman through his camera lens as he panned around the room. However, when they played the tape back, they found that the camera, which had been recording the whole time, didn't capture any footage between that brief window of time. As they were reviewing the footage, the reporter reported the feeling of getting hit multiple times and decided to cut the segment early and just get out of there. So she felt like she was just getting, hit. Almost. I don't know how else to describe that. Not exactly punched or slapped, just hit, right? Mm-hmm. 2 months later after this, Deanna and Tom call in a spiritual medium to try to make contact with whatever was in their house. As the medium walked through the house with the couple, she mentioned feeling a feminine presence and says that whatever was in the house wanted them to know that it was there. When the medium went to go upstairs, she had to pause halfway up the stairs for a bit, saying that, quote, something didn't want her going up there. The medium told Deanna and Tom that there was an evil in the house that harbored a lot of hatred towards women, and stated that it only wanted to cause pain. She said that there were at least 5 different spirits in the house. Some of them were women, and these spirits were not dangerous, saying that she felt like these spirits actually wanted to protect the couple from the other presence in the house. The medium believes that this evil presence did something to these women, and that it wanted to hurt Deanna next, and maybe even kill her. The medium seriously suggested that the couple move before getting up to leave, saying that she did not feel comfortable staying on the property any longer. Before she left, however, Deanna tried to ask if the medium had seen anything about a cemetery. Before Deanna could even finish her question, the medium informed the couple that the cemetery they had both been seeing in their dreams was a real place not too far from the house, and that's where the body of the evil spirit was buried.
Great, jeez.
Not being able to wait until the next day after hearing that, Deanna and Tom found themselves walking through that same dark cemetery from their dreams later that night. They didn't know what they were looking for at first, but as they both stopped walking at the same time, fixated on a headstone that looked just a little too familiar, a headstone that they had both remembered from their dreams, they knew that this must be where their tormentor was buried. The man's name was Dudley Diggs, and he died in 1820. After talking to a local historian, Deanna found out that Dudley Diggs was the son of John Diggs, who owned a massive property overlapping what today is the Mason-Dixon line between Maryland and Pennsylvania. This land became known as Diggs' Choice. An unusual number of people in the area, mostly being female, died under horrible and often mysterious situations at the time, and Dudley, who is known to be a particularly cruel man, has since been the alleged murderer in several of those deaths. Dudley was eventually killed after trying to bully the wrong family off of their land. And the historian also told Diana about a lot of awful events that had plagued the land over the years since his passing. In 1830, the body of a woman was actually found right on their property. In 1880, a woman named Lydia Small moved her family to Diggs' Choice, but by 1890, she had lost 5 of her children and her husband to all freak accidents on the property. In the early 60s, a boy was murdered in the actual house that Deanna and Tom currently live in. Just one thing after another after another. As of the filming of this episode, Tom and Deanna still live in the house and continue to have terrifying experiences. They have listed their house for sale 4 times, but due to the home's reputation in town, they have yet to receive a single offer.
Wow.
Jesus Christ.
That's fucking... Somebody help these poor people.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
What do you mean?
But to be fair, like, if you knew about what was going on, you might want your mic just a bit closer, actually. But, like, if you knew about what was going on... There you go. If you knew about what was going on, as I say for the 3rd time, I'm sorry, would you want to take their place? No. Especially, like...
I'm not saying take their place. I'm saying somebody get up in that house and fix the problem.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That poor woman.
Yeah.
As you probably noticed, there was a lot of, like, dates that would, like, jump ahead, right?
Yeah.
That was mainly because... I'm pretty sure, like, they reported basically they would experience stuff all the time, but those were, like, bigger things that happened rather than, like, smaller things, so that's probably why they decided to do it that way. But yeah, what do you guys think? Like, because that's such an odd situation, too.
I think
I say
they're probably...
more than odd, but...
They're probably wishing the Warrens were still around.
Yeah, like, this is... like I said, this was...
Be. Who's next?
Yeah.
Who took their place? Get them in that house.
Right, and like I said, this is like an ongoing thing for them. They still live in this house, at least as of 2015. This recording, right?
Years.
What makes a person so terrible in life that they could just continue to be terrible in death too? What
Evil.
creates a monster like that?
I mean, as above, so below, right? Like, as in life, so in death. That's where it's like, you don't stop being the same horrible person you were if you were a horrible person in life.
Yeah, but why
you
can't
know?
he just, like, you know, they talk about hell, you know, why can't that just be a thing where he can go? Because, I mean, it's a hypothetical. I know. I know that it's like, but it's just, imagine just being so miserable and so hateful in your life that your goal is to continue that in death.
Well, the thing is, like, especially for me, I can't fathom that, really, because that's just not how I operate.
Right.
Like, when you operate in empathy, you can't understand how these people work. And so, I can't imagine, like, the only thing I can really imagine is, like, this was fun for him. This is something he liked to do. This is something that brought him joy for some reason, and so he just was, he just continues to be an evil bastard. There's not really much else to that, you know?
I'm just expressing my hatred for
No,
him.
I agree. I understand.
The bear. Next.
Yeah, for real.
Yep.
No, but it's crazy just the amount of freak accidents and stuff, and like just awful things that continued to happen after his death too. Which, like, I love that he was killed in a fucking a little disagreement, because apparently he was trying to kick somebody off their land, and
He fucked around and found out.
he found out exactly.
Good. They did a service.
Mm-hmm. Tell them I said thank you.
Yeah, for real. All right, you guys ready to see some pictures then?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so this first one I am sending is of Deanna and Tom. I believe their last name is Simpson, but is Deanna and Tom the ones who were telling this story? And then, I don't think there's ever really much to say about the people who tell the story. I just want you guys to see.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, it
maybe-
helps to put a face to,
Like,
to
maybe
the name.
maybe for me, it's also a thing to be like, this. I'm not pulling this out of my ass. These are the people who are,
Yeah.
so, you know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah, I got you.
So this is where we start getting to pictures where you might like have something to say about them. If I can, yeah. If I was like, if I can get this to work. No, here we go. So this is a depiction from the episode of what Deanna saw that night in front of like the doors to her backyard, right? Like that silhouette. So this is what they described her as seeing.
His fucking head looks like Frankenstein.
No, I think it looks like Genie from K-pop Demon Hunters. Cause
Oh, yeah?
the
With the hat?
The thing behind it with that, it makes it look like a hat.
Oh my
yeah.
god, that's great. Well, he kind of looked like a train conductor.
He got the top hat.
Yeah.
It's just the thing behind
Everything about him looks
part of the hat.
abnormally long and stretched,
Yeah.
too, if you think about it, which, like, that just makes it worse for me.
Be your idol.
Living in your mind. now.
Copyright, guys,
Too late.
copyright. We will be banned in countries where the copyright doesn't help us.
We should probably be.
I've had that
banned.
happen. I've had that happen before with like my first podcast. I believe we sang like an entire anime song opening or whatever, and they banned it in Japan or something because it was copywritten.
That's crazy.
Yeah, so we'll chill on
Netflix is coming for us.
We'll chill on the
Shit.
sing-songing, if you would. This next picture is the best. It's the best I could get, and I think it's eerie. This is the depiction the show gave us of the woman that she saw in her bedroom that night. That Deanna saw in her bedroom that night. It's a little dark. It's a little blurry. I actually had to brighten it a little bit.
Damn.
She looks tired.
Yeah.
Like she's been crying.
In distress.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like it does. The eyes like look hollow. The lips look kind of puffy. Like I do see where you're getting that from. Yeah. And then this next one is a news clipping about when. Okay. Yes. Sorry. I had to double check and read it myself just to make sure I got the right thing. So it looks like I was wrong about the date of Dudley's death, because this is a newspaper clipping of like why he died, of what happened. And it took place in 1752. I don't know why I was getting 1820. So, but here's the actual newspaper clipping of like what happened. It says, "Here is old Conewago Chapel Cemetery, where in the background looms the church. Dudley Diggs, son of the John Diggs of Diggs' Choice fame, was buried here in 1752, one of the first to be interred in this cemetery. He met a violent death in a dispute over property boundaries." And that's what the news had to say of his passing.
Womp womp.
Yeah, also his father, John Diggs, was also not known to be a very good person either, so just kind of ran in the family.
That tracks.
Of course it does.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that is my story today. Any closing thoughts before we get to Dalia's stories? Or story? Story?
Someone go help
Story.
those people.
I mean, yeah, with whatever you can. I honestly wondered...
Something.
I wonder if they've... Because I know they got the medium in there, like, just to find out. I wonder if they've ever tried... I feel like I see... Excuse me, sorry. I wonder what else, if anything, they have tried, you know? Like, to get it out. Like...
Right.
Because we know it's a human spirit now, so I would hope that'd be a little bit easier to deal with than just a straight-up demon. But... I don't know. I really don't know. Yeah, 15 years until they actually told their story about this and are still dealing with it.
That's crazy.
I feel for them.
Oh, yeah, for sure. All right. Dalia, what have you got for us today?
Okay, so I have one encounter. Let me make sure I have all my pages. Yep, okay. So, this allegedly true encounter was found on Reddit, to none of our surprise.
Okay.
And it's about a house in OP's family. Okay.
Okay.
They've titled these series of encounters as The Haunted Farmhouse.
All right.
Which is very fitting.
Sure.
So, let's get into it. They start off by saying, "A few years ago, my dad told me that we were going to visit my grandmother in Virginia. She had been living there for quite a few years. I asked my dad if that's where he had grown up, and he said no. I asked where, then he told me that he had grown up in an old, former farmhouse in West Virginia. He told me that a few strange things had happened there, and his mother became convinced that the place was haunted. A recounting of the first story is typed below. It happened when my dad, who was only a kid then, and his mom were first moving into the house, and my grandmother's mom was coming over to help them move boxes into the attic. While my grandma was doing this, she was talking on the phone with her mom, and their cat ran up the stairs and into the attic. She shut the door and moved to leave the room when she heard coming from the attic, 'Kitty, kitty, 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 where'd you go?' The sound came from the attic, but apparently my grandmother's mom heard the noise, heard it as if it was coming from the phone, and she asked her mother, 'Did you hear that?' 'I did,' she responded. 'Now you get out of that house right now, and I'll be over to pick you two up, and you can stay at my house tonight,' which is a very quick reaction. That face you have is exactly the face that I had too. And at that moment, the door to the attic opened, and the cat came out, eyes wide and hair standing on end, yowling as it raced out of the house. It never came back. I did say that there were multiple ghostly happenings in that old farmhouse. My dad and his mom did not move out of the house after they heard the voice in the attic, which strangely could also be heard from the telephone. In the parlor of the house was a large oaken bookcase, bolted firmly to the wall. Displayed on the bookshelf were about a dozen fancy gold-lined plates. One afternoon, when my grandmother came home from the store, my father was at a friend's house, she found that the whole entire bookshelf had been ripped from the wall and was now lying mangled in the middle of the room. However, the gold-lined plates were now piled in a neat row on top of the counter. My dad said that ghosts often remove things they do not like, or at least that's what the common theory is. My father is no believer in ghosts, but I am. So he's no believer in ghosts, but
however, he's got something to say about it.
Right. Another thing about the house is that my dad said there were this discolored splotch on the kitchen floor in front of the sink. It was colored like blood, apparently, and creaked when someone stepped on it. And the story was that after the family who had owned the farmhouse eventually sold it, and it, for a time, became a hotel.
Huh.
At one point, a rich Californian businessman came to the hotel to visit his sister, who was staying there, and a man also staying at that hotel shot and killed him. Though I was never told why. I'm not saying the stained splotch was the guy's blood, but my dad said that sometimes at night, when he was in bed, he could hear the sound of footsteps creaking over the stained area. I don't remember what had pushed my grandmother to move out of that house, but it was soon after she came home to find the bookshelf torn out of the wall that they began to make preparations to leave. Also, apparently she had heard people in the house on several occasions and said that she had even seen what looked like a person slinking around the house one night. One day, my dad was helping his mother move things out of the house. She told him to move things out of the freezer in the kitchen. They had an old broken down deep freezer that they used as a storage place. So my dad began clearing it out. And when he opened this drawer on top of the freezer, he saw that there were cigarettes, lighters, and fancy embroidered plates that his mom liked to collect. They had been missing those things for a while. Like I said once before, ghosts often move objects that they do not like. So that's interesting. You might expect that now they had moved out of that creepy old farmhouse, the ghost stories would come to an end. But that's not how that worked out. Since when my dad and my grandmother moved out, they sold the house to my Uncle James, who was in his early 60s at the time. Now, before I start this next part, I'm going to say OP goes back and forth between calling him Uncle James and Mr. James.
Okay.
So don't get confused. It's the same guy.
It's James. Got it.
It's just James. For a time, it looked like all the spirits in that old farmhouse/hotel would leave Mr. James alone. But one night, he was in his bedroom and he heard slow, plodding footsteps echoing up the hallway. Mr. James, who had been reclining in a chair and reading a book, looked up to see a man standing in the doorway to his bedroom. Their back was turned, apparently looking at a painting hung on the hallway wall. "Hey!" yelled my uncle. "Who the hell are you?" The man turned around to face him. The man was short, with shaggy black hair and a goatee, sad blue eyes, and a blue jumpsuit. In the parentheses it says overalls.
Gotcha.
Mr. James was only allowed a fleeting glance, however, since the man vanished. Of course. Poof.
Poof.
A few minutes later, my grandmother received a phone call saying, "Someone's in my house." Upon hearing that, she went to check on Uncle James, who, when they got to the farmhouse, was sitting on his bed shaking like a leaf with a shotgun cradled in his arms, pointing at the door. From then on, whenever they came to Uncle James's farmhouse, he would tell them crazy stories about being dragged from the bed and into the hall by an invisible person and slapped, punched, and bit repeatedly. That would happen every night since the night when we first saw the man. No matter what he did, Mr. James could never stop the invisible man. And when it dragged him down the hall, it never went into the parlor for some reason. One day, my dad had to stay over at Uncle James's house. And in parentheses it says, I believe he was 14 years old at the time. I don't know why, but he never told me why. Now, Uncle James was a little kooky, but you can't really blame him, not with all he's gone through. He told my dad to sleep in the parlor, saying that it will never come into the parlor. My dad didn't believe in ghosts, and he wanted to see the mysterious man for himself. Uncle James did not think it was a good idea, though, trying to see that man. I could hardly blame him.
Right.
He finally relented, telling him that he didn't mind as long as he promised to stay in the parlor. Mr. James also insisted that he sleep with the magic blanket, which was a regular quilted blanket that was supposed to keep him safe. My dad said okay, recognizing that agreeing might be easier than arguing. That night he stayed awake, hoping to see the man, although not falling asleep was hard to do. Except when he saw the man at exactly midnight, like Uncle James told him, my dad said he felt the man before he saw him, if you know what I mean. The man didn't come into the parlor, like Uncle James said, and it just stood in the parlor doorway and stared at my father. And then it disappeared. When the grandfather clock in the parlor announced it was 6 a.m., the door to Uncle James's bedroom squeaked open and footsteps creeped up the hallway to the parlor. My dad, thinking that it was the man, covered himself with a magic blanket. Mr. James appeared in the doorway and coughed and coughed. Matt, is that you? He asked. Yeah, my dad responded. I'm here. Ah, said Uncle James softly. I told you the magic blanket would work. I think I saw the man, my dad said. Did you? Uncle James asked, rather distractedly. And you know what? The man never came for me last night. So he's basically saying, hey, the man was busy with you, he didn't come for me. You distracted him, thanks, bud. Eventually, Mr. James died from a heart attack, I believe. Not from anything unusual, and since Uncle James had no children, the farmhouse passed back to my grandmother, who wanted nothing more to do with the place. One day, my grandmother was in her house when she happened to look up in time to see a short man in blue overalls and a black goatee walk up the driveway of the house. The man walked up the steps to the porch and paced back and forth on the porch. Then he stopped at the doorway of the house and disappeared. My dad said that my grandmother thinks the ghost was a family ghost, although I'm not sure what that means. I have a few other ghost stories concerning my family, or at least strange happenings, but since they have nothing to do with the old farmhouse or my Uncle James, I will end the story here.
All right.
So, there's a lot to unpack there.
No, yeah, I've got multiple questions that definitely not going to get answers, and multiple things. First of all, I wanted to say, that first thing that happened with, like, the cat and, like, hearing a voice from up in the attic, I don't like that at all.
Yeah.
Not a huge fan of that.
Trust your animals. The way that cat fucking dipped. Trust
with
your
its
animals.
hair on it, its fur on it, I guess. Yeah.
Ugh.
Mm-hmm.
No, like, because thankfully, my family does believe in ghosts, and so that if I was talking to my mom in that situation, she heard that, she's like, all right, I'll come get you, sure.
Yeah.
Like, that's exactly how that would happen, too.
And then if I came home to my bookshelf being ripped off the wall.
That's insane. That's, ooh.
Yeah.
They doing too much.
Mm-hmm.
They're doing way too much. But they save the plates, at least, it seems.
Yeah, the golden plates.
The golden lined plates. They like those, just not the bookshelf. Also, when you said that after, like, the grandma moved out or whatever, and they're like, but it didn't seem to leave the family, my brain was like, oh, did it follow them? No, another family member moved in.
Yeah.
Of course it stayed in the family. What do you mean?
It's how he worded it, man. I guess Uncle James they weren't that close to Uncle
James stronger than me, though, because I would have been out, I
would have
think.
dipped, yeah.
I think I would have dipped. Like, that's a lot.
Being dragged and shit, yeah.
I honestly wonder, like, why was it so aggressive with him specifically?
And why didn't he sleep in the parlor?
I was gonna say, if you know
That's
he
true.
won't come into the parlor, why don't you sleep in the parlor?
Maybe he had started to, but he gave it to the kid. Because it's a kid.
Oh, you know what? That would make sense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, why not sleep in there with him?
I don't know.
True, yeah.
I don't know. The kid was 14. Maybe that's why. Going through puberty and shit. Maybe he was...
There could be many reasons.
Maybe
Like,
it's a twin bed.
At the very least, it could also just be... Dude was too prideful to be like, I'm not going to not sleep in my own bed. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's fair.
Also, how big was this farmhouse to where it was once used as a hotel? Like, that's... What?
Big farmhouse.
Big farmhouse.
They could have been more of like a bed and breakfast kind of ordeal.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, more along the lines of...
He called it overalls a jumpsuit, so it's like...
Right, yeah.
So...
But, no, yeah, that's a good one. I like that one. I like that set of encounters. Yeah, do you got any pictures for us?
Yeah,
Or B, do you have anything else to say before we...
No.
No?
Nope,
Okay.
I'm good. You took it all right out.
So for the photo
My
for this
apologies.
story, I have a fallen bookshelf, and before I show you this photo, I'm going to give a kind of backstory of why this photo is the bane of my existence, or at least was when I was writing this story. Okay.
Okay.
Or at least, writing this bit after the story. So I found this photo on a website called reductress.com.
Okay.
Under an article titled "Sweet Ways to Let Him Know You're Crushed Under a Bookcase."
I'm sorry?
And it was this cheeky article about how you're an independent woman, but like if you get crushed under a bookcase, you can't really take that care of yourself. You need help.
That's really funny.
So I go on this website because that's where the photo was located, and my laptop freaked out. Like it freaked out. Like this shit freezes, it gets loud. I don't know if it was my laptop skill issue or like the website, but just a heads up, maybe don't visit that website.
That website had a virus for sure.
Or do. I'm not the boss of you. I didn't even get to dig into what the hell that website was because my computer freaked out so badly. Anyway, here's the photo.
Yeah, let's see it. Oh yeah, that's a fallen bookcase. For sure.
It is.
It wasn't like torn, like mauled.
The
like
duct
they
tape on the back
described
is so real, though.
It is.
Like that's
really, truly, deeply.
That is so real because, like, yeah, they just have bookshelves just be having those like random slits in the back where you connect like the back panels, and like sometimes you just can't really do anything about those, and they get warped on their own. Like, yeah.
I know I had a one story this time, but I did only do one photo. I apologize.
Sure, that's fine.
That's it. That one just threw me for a loop, and I was like, I think I'm done with this story.
Oh,
the fucking website took it out of you.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
That was a good one. I really liked that those encounters. That was really not only was that really interesting, but it got me thinking a lot, like, during different parts of the story. Like, what could that stain actually be? Because my first thought is a rust stain. Like, it's the easiest way to explain it away. Like, of course, you can have the stories or whatever, but I still think it was a rust stain because it didn't say anything about them trying to remove it and not, whatever.
Right.
Even then, rust stains can be hard to remove.
Yes.
But, like, either way, it sounds... which obviously I do still think this place is haunted. I just don't think there was a blood stain.
Yeah,
but
a lot of history.
A lot of history either way. No, those are crazy. All right. Well, B, it is up to you to uplift our spirits a bit today. I know they weren't like too down. Mine was a bit dreary, I believe.
I got it.
Because that poor family.
You're going to be hooping and hollering by the time I'm done with you.
Okay, I'm ready.
Yep.
I am ready.
All right.
Did you say hooping and hollering?
Hooping and hollering.
Hooping and hollering.
Hooping and hollering.
I thought it was hooting.
It is hooting.
It is hooting.
Oh, hooping and hollering.
We just can't
talk?
No.
Yeah,
but that too, but like we just can't resist putting like basketball references in everything that they do. So they're
I didn't realize you were such a basketball fanatic.
Yeah, they're a baller at heart.
I'm a baller.
Shot caller.
My heart is the heart of the cards.
You ever seen B dunk? Me either.
I'm 5'3". I'm not dunking.
The silence when you're like, B can dunk? No.
I was trying to come up with a joke. That's what that was.
That's
I was going to say dunking on the haters.
It's me. I'm the joke.
Shut the fuck up.
Yes, mommy.
The look on Dalia's face of like a mixture of fear and okay. All right, what have we got? What have you got?
Okay, so OP has titled this.
No preamble?
Nope, no preamble. Okay. We're just right on in.
Okay, sure.
Because you'll see.
Okay.
Anyways, it's called I found a silly little trinket at a garage sale and gifted it to a colleague. He was thrilled.
Boy, do I love silly little trinkets. Let's do this.
I love going to garage sales. Half of the stuff I find isn't even for me because I'll find something that's perfect for someone I know. I just enjoy going on my little treasure hunts, like retail therapy, but at a much lower price point. In case in point, I was rummaging around a sale and had found a little something that I thought my colleague would like. He's a collector of certain memorabilia, and this find was exactly in that realm. Everyone at work knows he's a collector. His office looks just like a hobby store with a central theme. It was also just a little bit odd that words are hard. Hold on.
You okay?
It was also just a little bit odd that I thought he might not have one yet. It was also not so significant that it would cost a ton of money at the store, or that there could also be a deeper meaning beneath its face value. It was only $1, so I snapped it up immediately. I've bought colleagues cups of coffee that cost more than that. It sat in my car for several weeks because I didn't quite know how to give it to him. We're not super close, but we've definitely got a solid working relationship, as there is occasional overlap between our separate departments. There are zero feelings on either side other than professional respect and courtesy. To be honest, I kind of sometimes think I'm ace, but that's a story for another time. How do I give it to him and explain I got it because it made me think of him and I thought he'd like it without making it weird? Well, I was finally able to give it to him this week, and his face lit up with a huge, genuine smile, and he exclaimed how cool he thought it was. He thanked me, and that was it. I walked away feeling so good about the whole thing, partly because I was able to gift in a way that didn't make it awkward. I overthink a lot, and I'm not always great at human interactions, so this was a personal win for me in more ways than one.
Cute. Mm-hmm. What was the object? I was waiting for that part to come up, and it never came. Also, I do relate to this on a spiritual level. I do love me a trinket. Like, people who, like you guys, people who know me, I am a collector. I collect video games. I collect board games. I collect a lot of things, and I have more that I want to collect. So, like, I get it. I'm here. And honestly, when you first started, I was like, is this about me? Is this
am I in this picture?
Am I in this picture? And then you said office.
Is this
like,
play about us?
I was like, I don't exactly have an office. I have a shared office area, but no.
So it's funny you mentioned that, because instead of a traditional picture today, I actually have something for you, and I'm hoping you'll take a picture with it and me.
I'm sorry?
I brought you something.
No.
I seen it. It was like $2, and immediately I was like, oh my God, Brandon has to have this. So I messaged Dalia to get your t-shirt size.
No way.
Yes.
Oh, this is insane. What is this? That's fucking funny. So, I'm going to describe this. It's a black t-shirt, and on it says, "You know why I'm here," with 3 deviled eggs on it. And I am a slut for deviled eggs.
I think the deviled eggs come with like booty holes.
They do look like booty holes. You're right.
I was explaining to my husband, because he didn't understand the shirt. He didn't get why it was funny, why I got it. I said, baby, listen to me. If you are going to an event and Brandon is there and you are bringing deviled eggs.
No, you aren't.
You just need to go ahead and double the portion you were going to bring for the party.
You might as well go ahead
and
triple it.
Give Brandon the first portion and just hope he doesn't know about the second. That's the best I can offer you.
Boy, howdy do I love deviled eggs.
When that popped up, I was like, oh my fucking God, I have to get that for Brandon.
That's really funny.
That is so cool.
So when I didn't know how I was going to give it to you either. I thought maybe a little closer to Thanksgiving, but then when I found that story, I was like, all right, that's it. That's what we're going to do.
Yep.
And then just hope Brandon will take a picture with me, or
of course
just
I will,
a picture of the shit.
We will. So I'm putting the picture up right now on your guys' screen on the YouTube. If you just listen to this, you can find it on the Instagram. But me and B are gonna take a picture together with this shirt right after we get done recording.
Yay!
This is fucking funny. Oh, I love this. Oh, and I love a good deviled egg.
Oh, I know.
God,
I told you were gonna be hooting and hollering by the time I was done.
That's what I'm making for the party.
Oh yeah, so like
the Sunday for deviled eggs.
It'll be the Sunday this comes out. The party will happen the day before. So yesterday we had
think about that.
Do we want?
You have to wear that for the party. Tell me that's not Brandon coded.
Yeah, of course. Do you want to talk? Can we talk about this? Is that okay?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Go ahead. You have the floor. Do you want me to say it?
Okay. Sorry, I didn't know I'd be doing this.
No, you're okay.
So I won't go into details just because.
Yeah, that's fine.
I like a little bit of my privacy.
Of course.
I have gone by my name for a long time. This is Dalia, by the way, if you don't recognize my voice by now. So I legally changed it recently, and because it's such a big deal to me, I decided I want to throw a party with my closest friends, and
I got invited.
Yeah, obviously. And,
to be clear, changed it to the name you already go by.
Yeah,
just legally.
So I didn't legally go by Dalia because that wasn't the name I was given at birth.
It wasn't your government name before, but now it is.
Now
it's my government name.
Now it's your government name.
And that's a huge deal. So I said, okay, because I've been saying this. I said, whenever I change my name, I want to have a potluck where everybody brings a dish with the first letter of their name. It can go. I don't care if it's your first name. I don't care if it is a nickname. I don't care if it's your middle name, last name. We're just doing a name party.
Which is so fun, honestly.
Yeah, I'm really excited.
I'm doing burgers for B. And B, you also have a B. What are you doing?
Bacon stuff something.
Okay, bacon something.
Bacon wrap something. It'll be bacon something.
You should do wheeze.
I'm also gonna bring a vegetarian dish as well.
That's so nice.
So I'm gonna it's gonna be like appetizer kind of size, I guess.
Yeah, we have a couple vegetarian friends who I'm sure they're coming. I think
probably she's got her maternity photo.
Yeah,
the same day.
Oh, okay. Well, but just in case
they still said they should be able to make it, but they haven't RSVP'd yet. We'll ask them again. But either way, I am also going to be doing black bean burgers for vegetarian as well.
Good.
And also Dalia has been wanting to try them too. She likes black bean stuff.
Hell yeah. So I feel bad coming and bringing a pork dish. Sorry, I hit the line. I feel bad coming and bringing a pork dish when there's vegetarians as well. And I don't want to bring something they can't eat.
Right.
So plus if I'm making, it's not like I'm making a whole meal. I want to make a little something too.
No, that's fair.
And then deviled eggs.
Dahlia's doing deviled eggs, so this shirt's perfect for next week.
Yep.
Yeah.
Actually.
Perfect. So you know what? It worked out. I'm glad you got it today.
No, of course. This is great. This is wonderful. Oh, this is so funny. Where'd you say you found this?
TikTok.
Oh. Cool.
It pulled up on my feed. It was $2, and I was like, "Yep."
You know what?
Yep. That's going to Brandon.
No, thank you for this. This is so sweet.
You're very welcome.
This is so fucking funny.
Yeah.
I'm gonna wear this to every Thanksgiving as well.
I hope so.
God,
I hope so.
You know, guys, you don't understand. I love deviled eggs. I really do. Like, I'll scarf them bitches down. That is like
you're never gonna have another Thanksgiving without that shirt in the picture. I'm sorry.
For sure.
Good. It's fucking funny.
It's perfect.
No, yeah, because they're just my favorite thing, and so they're my favorite thing so much that they didn't used to be a staple at my my family get-togethers, but recently, the past few years, my aunt has started making them. Unfortunately, she does make them with relish, which it doesn't change the flavor, but it does change the texture, and I don't like the chewiness of the relish.
Yeah.
However, I'm still gonna eat.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll get a thing of relish on the side for people who like it. Relish.
Does anybody like relish?
I don't know. Do you like relish, B?
It don't bother me either way. I'm gonna eat the develed egg.
That's fair, yeah.
I gotta make a lot too. I've never made deviled eggs, so
you
I'm
could
really
deep fry
nervous.
it. And
she gotta make a lot, and then she gotta make some for the party.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah. Go buy a couple dozen.
Yeah. Well, last time I got eggs from Kroger, they gave me big eggs in a small carton, so that a carton was stuck to the eggs, and half the eggs were broken. It was a bad experience. So I will be going in to get my eggs from now on,
just
and not
to
ordering
check.
Yeah, go check your eggs.
I was so ass. I was so upset.
I get my eggs from my mother-in-law.
We have chicken neighbors that give us eggs sometimes.
Our neighbors behind us, they have chickens, and every once in a while they'll bring us some eggs.
Hell yeah.
I just don't want to ask for a bunch of eggs. You know? So
yeah, that's fair. But no, yeah, this has been a great episode. If anything, for the t-shirt alone.
I'm glad you like it.
This is so cool. I got a gift this episode.
Yeah, you did.
Well, thank you guys for listening to us today. Who wants to let them know where they can find us at? Either you? All right, I'll do it. That's fine. Everybody goes me. Dalia pointed at B. B put a finger to their nose. Dalia put a finger to her nose, and
B wasn't prepared, and I suddenly forgot everything.
That's fair.
Yeah,
you're lucky I remembered how to intro the show.
Exactly. Don't push me for 2.
Well, guys, you can find us on TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, Blue Sky, not Twitter though, because
fuck Twitter.
Fuck Twitter. I think that's it. Anyway, you can also, if you have a story, whether it be a true paranormal experience that you have had, or a wholesome thing that has brightened up your day, you can send those to TPIBOTE@outlook.com. If they are... Huh?
TPIBOTE.
If they are for Dalia, they're more paranormal stories, put that in the subject line. If they are wholesome stories for B to read on here, put that in the subject line. And yeah, you may hear your story on a future episode. We'd really love to do that. Am I forgetting anything? I don't think I am. Rate, and review us anywhere that you can. I know you can leave a review on Facebook. You can leave a rating on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, Apple Music. We'd really appreciate it. Every little bit helps. I'm very sure that ratings and reviews are how people find us. At the very least on Spotify and stuff, it's how people decide to watch us. Because you go into a podcast, you see good reviews, you're more likely to pick it up. You know?
Oh yeah.
Unless you're me, I really don't care what people rate things. I check it out for myself usually.
Unless it's food. I don't eat bad rated food. That's
fair. Yeah, that's very fair. When it comes to a podcast or a show though, people are so subjective usually that I'm I'm gonna at least try it and then I'll find out, you know?
Yeah.
But some people aren't like that, so please leave us a good review. All right, but I think that's everything. Am I forgetting anything?
No, I think that's it.
No? Okay. Well, guys, thank you for listening once again. We really appreciate it. Here's to another 20-something episodes. I think I'm going to say that like every 20 episodes. Here's to another 20 episodes. Anyway, and as always, this podcast was based on true events.